Shabbat Shalom. We welcome you to Congregation Beth Israel as together we enter into the spirit of the Sabbath, enjoying beautiful music, meaningful prayers, a beautiful message, a perfect way to enter the Sabbath spirit. Life and joy and peace await us. Welcome. Shabbat Shalom. Shabbat Shalom. Good Shabbos to you. Apparently we didn't need the sanctuary tonight, but we're always welcome into the Gordon Chapel. And what a lovely evening it is. It's been a sunny day after more days of rain, but perhaps that's a nice way to wash into the new year together. The Sabbath comes just when we need it, to rest and set aside the challenges of the week. And so as we begin to enter this Shabbat Shuvah, the Sabbath between Rosh Hashanah and Yom Kippur, we include not only our familiar songs and prayers, but also inserts in our worship service to acknowledge that this is the time between the high holy days when we acknowledge all that God holds out for us and all that we aim to do and to be as the days unfold. So let's continue together as we invite Candor to lead us so beautifully in song.
Shabbat Shalom, Shana Tova. We continue with a nigun, which is a wordless melody, followed by Hine Matov, and you can find the words to Hine Matov on page 10. Please join me.
Yai
Hine ma tov u'manai, Shabbat achim gam yachad. 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 Hine ma tov u'manai, Shabbat achim gam yachad.
Now we turn in our prayer book to page 2 as we invite Cantor to lead us in the blessing over the Sabbath lights.
It's this one. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam asher kitshanu b'mitzvotav v'tzivanu lehadlik ner shel Shabbat.
We turn now to page 28 and rise for Baruch Hu.
Baruch Hu et Adonai HaMevorach. Baruch
Page 30 together. Blessed are you, Adonai, our God, ruler of the universe, who speaks the evening into being, skillfully opens the gates, thoughtfully alters the time and changes the seasons, and arranges the stars in their heavenly courses according to plan. You are creator of day and night, rolling light away from darkness and darkness from light, transforming day into night and distinguishing one from the other. Adonai Tsevaot is your name. Ever-living God, may you reign continually over us into eternity. Blessed are you, Adonai, who brings on evening. Baruch atah Adonai, Hama'ariv Aravim. Page 33, responsively. Wisdom and wonder, passion and instruction, story and symbol. All these things your Torah gives to us. And the more we devote ourselves to it, the more it grows and gives.
What could be a truer
Token of your than this holiest of your works and the living language that gives it form. Baruch atah Adonai, Ohev Amo Yisrael.
Shema Yisrael, Adonai Eloheinu, Adonai Echad. Baruch Shem Kevod Malchuto Leolam Va'ed.
Please be seated.
V'ahavta et Adonai Elohecha b'chol levavcha u'b'chol nafshecha u'b'chol me'odecha v'hayu ha'devarim ha'ele asher anochi mitzavecha hayom al levavecha v'shinantam levanecha v'dibarta bam b'shitecha b'veitecha u'v'lechtecha v'derech u'v'shokbecha u'v'kumecha u'kshartam le'ot al yadecha v'hayu letotafot bein einecha וכתבתם על מזוזות ביתך ובשעריך למען תזכרו ועשיתם את כל מצוותיי והייתם קדושים לאלוהיכם. אני אדוני אלוהיכם אשר הוצאתי אתכם מארץ מצרים, להיות לכם אלוהים, אני אדוני אלוהיכם.
Together on page 37. Love your God with every heartbeat, with every breath, with every conscious act. Keep in mind the words I command you today. Teach them to your children, talk about them at work. Whether you are tired or you are rested, let them guide the work of your hands. Keep them in the forefront of your vision. Do not leave them at the doorway of your house or outside your gate. They are reminders to do all of my mitzvot, so that you can be holy for God. I am Adonai, your God. I led you out of Egypt to become your God. I am Adonai, your God. Standing on the parted shores of history, we still believe what we were taught before ever we stood at Sinai's foot, that wherever we go, it is eternally Egypt, that there is a better place, a promised land, that the winding way to that promise passes through the wilderness, that there is no way to get from here to there except by joining hands, marching together. Together, page 43. Let there be love and understanding among us. Let peace and friendship be our shelter from life's storms. Adonai, help us to walk with good companions, to live with hope in our hearts and eternity in our thoughts, that we may lie down in peace and rise up waiting to do your will. Baruch atah Adonai, haporei sukat shalom aleinu, ve'al kol amo Yisrael, ve'al Yerushalayim. The people of Israel shall keep Shabbat. Observing Shabbat throughout the ages is a covenant for all time. It is a sign for all time between me and the people of Israel. For in 6 days Adonai made heaven and earth. And on the seventh day God ceased from work and was refreshed.
Shabbat, לעשות את השבת לדורותם ברית עולם. בני ישראל, אותי לעולם. בני ישראל, אותי לעולם. כי ששת ימים עשה אדוני את השמיים ואת הארץ. וביום השביעי שבת ויהי נפש.
We continue with Hot Tefillah, beginning on pages 46 and 48. Please rise.
Adonai sefetai tiftach ufi agi tehilatecha. Adonai, open up my lips that my mouth may declare your praise. Baruch atah Adonai, Eloheinu v'Elohei avoteinu v'imotenu, Elohei Avraham, Elohei Yitzchak, v'Elohei Yaakov, Elohei Sarah, Elohei Rivka, Elohei Rachel, v'Elohei Leah, Ha'el Hagadol, Hagibor v'Hanora, El Elyon, Gomel Chasadim Tovim, V'konei Hakol, V'zocher Chasdei Avot V'imahot, Umevi Geula Livnei V'nehem, L'man Shemo B'Ahava, Zochrenu L'chaim, Melech Hafetz B'chaim, V'chotvenu b'sefer ha'chaim, V'chotvenu b'sefer ha'chaim, L'mancha Elohim chayim, Melech ozer u'moshia u'magen, Baruch atah Adonai, Magen Avraham v'Ezrat Sarah.
Page 50 together. You are forever mighty, Adonai. You give life to all. You sustain life through love, giving life to all. Through great compassion, supporting the fallen, healing the sick, freeing the captive, keeping faith with those who sleep in the dust. Who is like you, source of mighty acts? Who resembles you, a sovereign who takes and gives life, causing deliverance to spring up and faithfully giving life to all. Who is like you, compassionate God, who mercifully remembers your creatures for life? Blessed are you, Adonai, who gives life to all. Baruch atah Adonai, mechaye hakol. Atah kadosh v'shimcha kadosh, u'kadoshim b'chol yom yehalalucha selah. Baruch atah Adonai, hamelech hakadosh. You are holy, your name is holy, and those who are holy praise you every day. Praised are you, Adonai, holy sovereign. Please be seated. Page 55, together. May these hours of rest and renewal open our hearts to joy and our minds to truth. May all who struggle find rest on this day. May all who suffer find solace. May all who hurt find healing on this day. May all who despair find purpose. May all who hunger find fulfillment on this day. And may this day fulfill its promise. Baruch atah Adonai, mekadesh haShabbat. Page 57. You are with us in our prayer, our love, and our doubt, and our longing to feel your presence and do your will. You are the still clear voice within us. Therefore, O God, when doubt troubles us, when anxiety makes us tremble, when pain clouds the mind, we look inward for the answer to our prayers. There may we find you, and there find courage, insight, and endurance. And let our worship bring us closer to one another, that all Israel and all who seek you may find new strength for your service. Baruch atah Adonai, she'odcha levadcha b'yirah na'avod. Together, we acknowledge with thanks that you are Adonai, our God, and the God of our ancestors forever. You are the rock of our lives and the shield of our salvation in every generation. Let us thank you and praise you for our lives which are in your hand, for our souls which are in your care, for your miracles that we experience every day, and for your wondrous deeds and favors at every time of day, evening, morning, and noon. O good one, whose mercies never end, O compassionate one, whose kindness never fails, we forever put our hope in you. For all these things, O sovereign, let your name be forever praised and blessed. Inscribe all the children of your covenant for a good life. O God, our Redeemer and Helper, let all who live affirm you and praise your name in truth. Blessed are you, Adonai. Your name is goodness, and you are worthy of thanksgiving. Baruch atah Adonai, hatov shimcha ulecha na'eh lehodot. Page 60. Grant abundant peace to Israel, your people, forever, for you are the sovereign God of all peace. May it be pleasing to you to bless your people Israel in every season and moment with your peace. Together, in the book of life, blessing, peace, and prosperity, may we be remembered and inscribed by you, we and all your people Israel, for a good life and for peace. Blessed are you, Adonai, who makes peace. Baruch atah Adonai, oseh hashalom.
Shalom Rav Yisrael Amcha Tasim Leolam. Shalom Rav Yisrael Amcha Tasim. בספר חיים ושלום, ברכה ושלום ופרנסה טובה, ברכה ושלום, ניזכר וניכתב לפניך, אנחנו וכל עמך בית ישראל, לחיים טובים ולשלום. ברוך אתה אדוני, עושה השלום.
We pray silently. יושבי תבל ואמרו אמן. עושה שלום במרומיו, הוא יעשה שלום עלינו ועל כל ישראל ועל כל יושבי תבל ואמרו שלום עלינו ועל כל ישראל ועל כל יושבי תבל
We include at this time, with our prayers for peace and our own personal prayers, a prayer of healing, a healing of body and mind, of spirit and soul. And tonight, especially, we are thinking of Morgan Aaron, Larry Wiesel, Fern Winograd, Fran Fleischman, Rachel Bishop, Karen Abramson, and Louis Frapart, who are in need of healing, as well as all those who you are thinking of within your own family and circle of friends. We continue now with our prayer and song for healing, Misha Berach. The words can be found on page 253.
Misha Berach
This holy time of year grants us an opportunity to shift our thinking and reflect. During the high holy days, we typically consider the themes of tshuva, forgiveness, and prayer, ways to reset the table and begin anew with a clean slate. However, these themes are about so much more, and if we consider them differently, they can have a profound impact on the ways in which we live our lives. As the prophet Jeremiah teaches, "Blessed be the one who trusts in God, and God in turn will be a source of trust." This season is about cultivating a renewed sense of trust. That seems easy enough, but how do we get there? Some of us are more trusting than others, and some of us have good reasons not to trust what people do or say. Trusting God may seem even more pointless. As the old saying goes, we plan and God laughs. So what's the point? Why trust in God? One medieval rabbi taught that trusting in God while trying to stay in control of our own lives is like learning to swim, but insisting on keeping one foot on the ground. It can't be done. We have to let go in new and different ways, and through that, we will find a place of partnership with something that is beyond us. But it takes practice, and there's no better time to start than now. Life is full of worry, pain, and anxiety. We know that we can't control many situations that confront us, but it doesn't stop us from trying. And this is where we must learn to trust in God. By looking within and believing deeply in developing that partnership with God, we can begin to let go, like fully swimming through life without keeping one foot on the ground. In Hebrew, the word for trust is bitachon. It also means security. While we can't always understand the ways of God and what happens in this world, we have security and trust in our souls that things really will work out, even if we can't see it from our own limited perspective. A story is told about our sage Rabbi Akiva. He was once walking along the way with a rooster, a donkey, and a lamb. He came to a certain place and looked for room at the inn, but he was turned away. When that happened, Rabbi Akiva said, "Whatever God does for the good." So Akiva went on his way with his rooster, donkey, and lamb, and spent the night in an open field. During that night, the wind came and extinguished the lamp. A weasel came and ate the rooster, and a lion came and ate the donkey. When Akiva woke, he said, "Whatever God does for the good." That same night, a group of evil men came to that town and took everyone into captivity. But Rabbi Akiva was spared. Had his rooster crowed, had the donkey brayed, had the light glowed, he would have been discovered. Sometimes things do have a way of working out. Now is a time for us to change. We are jolted awake to help our souls connect to their purest divine state. We hear the melodies that are both haunting and beautiful. We share special liturgy that acknowledges our communal transgressions. We go through a process of spiritual renewal. But within all these themes is a message of hope. It's about reaching the place where our souls are at peace. We must evaluate where we've been during this last year before we can know where we hope to go in the future. This has been a year full of challenges, without question, and now is the time to find ways where we can serve God with joy and happiness. As the psalmist teaches, Ivdu et Adonai b'simcha, bo lefanav birnana. Serve Adonai with joy, come before God in happiness. The bima is set for all this to happen. The majesty of our high holy days is here. We have the purity and hope of new beginnings, and yet we may still feel anxious. But the gates are wide open now. We can't delay. Soon they will close and the opportunity will be gone. Serving God with joy, that is how we can find the gateway that allows us to develop a strong sense of trust. Our rabbis teach that trust is not a philosophical principle. Like so many aspects of Jewish living, trust is something we cultivate all of the time. It's a practice act. We must be fully invested in knowing how and when to trust. This cycle of our days also helps us find the points when we can both work hard and relax. Often we don't know how we will manage to get from one place to another. We wonder how we will tackle the challenges that appear before us. And then we hear the blast of the shofar that calls us to action. It's a reminder that we have to step aside from the uncertainty and anxiety in order to find clarity through trust in God. Sometimes we search for a clear path of how to move forward. As we embark on a new year, we have the opportunity to find the comfort that we desperately desire. Yes, we are taught to reflect on our past actions, and yes, we must grab hold of this moment. We are in control of how we respond. We aren't controlled by the past, and we can't worry about what may be in the future. Now is when we must develop good habits that will help us grow spiritually in the coming days. We are endowed with the gift of free will. We are able to make the best decisions we can given our situations. Sometimes we act wisely, and other times we don't. When we falter, we find ways to trust again. It doesn't always come easily. As we find ways to develop a sense of trust, we find a viable reaction to a negative situation. Trusting is all about letting go, which can be intimidating. We aren't in full control of every aspect of life, but trust is not about wearing blinders and hiding from these moments. Like our tradition teaches, through the doing comes the understanding. Judaism provides us with what we need on a daily basis. We thank God when we wake up and when we go to bed. We accept what comes before us, praying that God will grant us the strength to handle it all. Sometimes we can trust that all will be fine. At other moments, we search for trust that we can hold on to in a tangible way. Our perspective becomes brighter when we find a way to work in partnership with God, not in opposition. Hope is real and present on this Shabbat of our new year. As we embark on the journey of new opportunities and new paths, trusting in God allows us to live our days without fear. It gives us a chance to feel confident that all we fear will work out in the way God intends. Contrary to our folklore, Judaism doesn't teach us to worry or to fret. It doesn't say we should hold grudges or feel consumed by the past. Rather, we are taught to embrace each moment as they come. Judaism shows us the way. The rest is up to us. We have had our difficult times in this past year. There were almost too many to recount and retell, but now is when we move forward. We might only be able to take a few small steps today, but we can do so slowly and authentically. We rely on trusting God and in turn pray that God will be a source of trust for each of us. Soon we will observe our most sacred day of Yom Kippur. The gates will eventually close. It's now time for us to cross over. As we walk in community, we are faithful and acknowledge that we truly have all that we need. Let us strive to make the coming year one that will allow us to trust more and fear less. May we see the joy and happiness before us and ultimately accept graciously the goodness that surrounds us. Amen. Please rise. We continue in our prayer books on page 282 and 287 with our great prayer of adoration, Aleinu.
Aleinu l'shabeach l'adon hakol, l'tekedu l'yotzeh bereshit, shelo asanu kegoyei haratzot, velo samanu kemishpechot adama, shelo sam chelkeinu kahem, v'gor aleinu kechol hamonam, va'anachnu korim, ומשתחווים ומודים לפני מלך מלכי המלכים,
page 294. We take this time now to call to heart and mind those dear ones who departed this earth and entered the peace of life eternal in recent days. Lovingly we recall Martin Rappaport, Bernard Stolman. And we add the names of those the anniversary of whose death is observed this Shabbat. It's our custom in the Gordon Chapel to rise if you wish to as the name of your loved one is read aloud. Afterwards, all of us will rise together as a congregation to recite the words of Kaddish. Now we remember Henrietta Clark, Howard Kuttner, Ray Levy, Beverly Novick, David Reisman, Louis Shore, Barry Signoff, Martha Weisberg, Gilbert Almaraz, Doris Armstrong, Libby Cohen, Sophie Goodman, James Johns, Solomon Jucker, Edwin Schachter, Gladys Yonks, Frederick Dixon, Gloria Frederick, Morris Lipo, Samuel Levin, Philip Levy, Bernard Pivot, John Sperling, William Ullman, Louis Wizig, Jay Barron, Sylvia Barrett, Hoda Ephron, Benjamin Grossman, Fanny Pine, Ray Pfeffer, Mark Schmelzer, Abe Wizig, Abe Asher, Ezra Goldberg, Milton Gordon, Roger Jacobs, Arthur Newman, Sam Susser, Rose Argovitz, Andrea Blesnick, Steve Grunberg, Nettie Herman, Jolly Katz, Edna Levy, Gerald Silber, Joseph Spector, Fanny Wolf, Robert Astrich, Jean Bales, Felix Berlin, Carol Camberg, Herman Eastman, Paul Marks, Kalman Meskin, Alvin Newberger, Marcus Pasternak, Stuart Pines, Annalise Slater, Sadie Wizig, Leo Zwilling, Kaikuko Hiroshi, Clara Pransky, Harry Pransky, Nina Nathan Kamen. In their memory and in their honor, we rise now and join in the words of Kaddish. Yitgadal v'yitkadash shemei Rabbah, b'alma divrachute v'amlich malchute, b'chayechon v'yamechon b'chayei d'chol Beit Yisrael, b'gala v'zman kariv v'imru amen. Yehei shmei Rabbah mevorach le'olam olomei amaya. Yitbarach v'yishtabach v'yitba'ar v'yitoman v'yitnaseh. V'yitatar v'yitale v'yitalal shmei d'kudusha b'richu. Le'ela min kol birchata v'shirata. Tushbechata v'nechamata. Damiram v'alma v'imru amen. Yehei shlama rabba min shemaya. V'chaim aleinu v'al kol Yisrael v'imru amen. Oseh shalom b'mromav, hu yaseh shalom. Aleinu v'al kol Yisrael, v'imru amen. May the source of peace send peace to those who mourn and comfort to all the bereaved among us, as together we say, Amen. And in our prayer book now, we turn to page 5 as we invite Cantor to lead us in the Sabbath Kiddush.
Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam, borei peri hagafen. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam, asher kitshanu b'mitzvotav v'ratzavanu, v'shabbat kodsho v'ahava uvratzon hinchilanu. Zikaron le'maaseh v'reishit, ki hu yom techila le'mikra'ei kodesh, zecher litziat Mitzrayim. Ki vanu v'acharta, v'yotanu kidashta, mikol ha'amim, v'shabbat kodshecha, be'ahava uvratzon, hinchaltanu. Baruch atah
Shabbat Shalom.
Shabbat Shalom.
My name is Deborah Brooks, and I have the privilege of serving as a vice president on Beth Israel's Board of Trustees. Mazel tov to the family of Naama Makol, who is becoming a bat mitzvah this Shabbat. This Sunday morning at 10:15, we'll continue our Coffee Talk series with Judy Blake in the Margolis Gallery. She'll be discussing her book, Judy's World, which explores her life as a single parent raising a son with disabilities. This program is co-sponsored by the congregation's Inclusion Committee and is part of our WAYS program. The President and Executive Board of Sisterhood invite all Sisterhood members for a brunch in the Finger Boardroom this Sunday, September 24th at 10 a.m. to sip, schmooze, and take a break from the chaos of recent weeks. Please see your Friday night guide for further details and to RSVP. If you're still looking for ways to help as the community rebuilds from Hurricane Harvey, please reference your Friday night guide for organizations looking for volunteers and ways to donate. If you've been impacted by the flood and have not heard from us, please do visit the membership table after the service. Yom Kippur services will begin next Friday, September 29th at 6:30 p.m. with Kol Nidre. Doors will open at 5:30 p.m. We'll also hold our late service as scheduled. The membership committee will be hosting a breakfast after the concluding service on Yom Kippur in Wolf Timim Hall. More information and how to RSVP are also in your Friday night guide. After tonight's service, please feel free to visit the membership table and introduce yourself to me and my fellow trustee on the Bima, Luann Katz, so that we may welcome you. L'Shana Tova and Shabbat Shalom.
On this Shabbat, we will conclude our service by singing Hashivenu. The words can be found on page 358. Please rise.
Hashivenu, Hashivenu, Adonai Elecha, V'nashuva, V'nashuva, Chadesh, Chadesh, Yameinu K'kedem. Hashivenu, Hashivenu, Adonai Elecha, V'nashuva, V'nashuva, Chadesh, Chadesh, Yameinu K'kedem.
Adonai Eloheinu ve'Elohei Avotenu ve'imotenu, our God and God of all generations, enable us truly to return to you, God. Help us to know that you are very much present in our lives. Give us the trust and faith we need to move forward in these coming days. And please help make this year one that's full of wholeness, contentment, and greater peace. Amen.
Amen.
Shabbat Shalom.
Thank you for joining us for this Shabbat service. We're so pleased that we can share the services through live streaming. You are a part of our congregational community. If you have a need to call or write us, we would love to hear you beyond this beautiful service so that we can continue to deepen our relationship and our connection as a caring congregational community. I wish you the very best as the week continues, and I look forward to seeing you again next time. Shabbat Shalom.